the Niners are going to take as much time as they can. What's going to happen between now and early August when these extensions generally wrap up? Justin Jefferson's going to sign an extension. Jamar Chase is going to sign an extension. And it's probably, the Niners are going to wait as long as possible. It's what they want to do. So if and when those two guys sign their extensions first, then the market at wide receiver will get reset. And the highest paid wide receiver in the league right now is Tyreek Hill, who's making about $30 million a year. But once you take away the void years, it's really more like $28 million. Well, Justin Jefferson could get 30 or 32 or more. Hard to say. Can't predict. And if Justin Jefferson resets the market and Jamar Chase resets the market, then Brandon Aiyuk could feel more emboldened in his position. Him and his agent could feel like, you know what, let's not compromise. The market is trending in our direction. Let's stand firm. We're asking for more. In addition, if it drags out all year, all offseason, Brandon Aiyuk, who generally is the 49ers like Iron Man in practice, OTAs, mini camp, training camp, he's the guy playing his hardest every day. And that was since he was a rookie. So even if they do extend him and they extend him in early August, is he going to hold out the entire offseason? Is he going to do what Nick Bosa did last year? No one really got mad at Nick Bosa for holding out, but it didn't help his season. He definitely had his worst season in the NFL. Was it because he held out? That didn't help. Brandon Aiyuk is the Niners' most important weapon on offense, I think. More important than Christian McCaffrey, more important than George Kittle, more important than Deebo Samuel. They need to use him more. Every year they've used him a little bit more. He's increased his production 4 years in a row. This year should be his year that he goes crazy. He's in his prime. He's got the quarterback. He should be able to go for 1,600 yards this year if he's there all offseason. If he misses the whole offseason, how much is that going to affect his season? How much is that going to affect the 49ers? Talking about a Super Bowl hangover, the last thing they need is a Brandon Aiyuk holdout, even if he does eventually play on the fifth-year option or sign an extension. If Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase reset the market and the Niners just aren't willing to pay Brandon Aiyuk $28 million a year, and they say, come back and play for 14 on the fifth-year option, would he hold out into the season? And it's like, sure, that would hurt Brandon Aiyuk, but would also really hurt the 49ers. They don't win if Brandon Aiyuk holds out into the season. They don't. This is the kind of stuff that leads to a Super Bowl hangover. A team that was just in the Super Bowl that misses the playoffs the following year, like the Niners did the last time they were in the Super Bowl, or a team that just falls short of what they should be. It seems to me that although the Niners always wait with these contract extensions, they always draw them out and make the player wait. I don't know that it's necessarily in the Niners' interest to do that this year. There's a lot of reasons to get this done now. The longer they wait, the more the price could go up. The longer they wait, the longer he could hold out, which would hurt their team. They're an older team. They've been keeping it together for year after year after year. They're not necessarily trying to make it better. They're just trying to keep it together as long as they can because they think that they'll win a Super Bowl eventually. Well, that window is closing. And the last thing they need, and if this is the last dance for some of these older, the last thing they need is to be MIA all offseason. Because again, he should be the focal point of the offense, even more than last year. Last year, the focal point of the offense was Jeffrey. And that sort of got, to such an extent in the playoffs, he was the whole offense. He was their leading receiver and their leading rusher. And that didn't work so well. Chiefs shut that down. The guy they didn't shut down was Aiyuk. Kyle shut him down by not throwing him the ball. If Kyle had targeted Brandon Aiyuk 10 times in the Super Bowl, called his number, called those plays, would the Niners have won? Kyle went into the Super Bowl thinking, if I give Christian McCaffrey the ball 30 times, we can't lose. They lost. He touched the ball 30 times, they lost. What's the point of spending all this money on all these weapons to just feature one? This is the guy you feature. The Niners were 3 for 12 on third down. You know who their go-to guy is on third down? Aiyuk. Aiyuk during the regular season caught 18 passes on third down. You know how many picked up first downs? 18. He doesn't get the ball enough. Like, I'm not personal friends with Brandon Aiyuk. Brandon Aiyuk's a pretty salty guy. I don't know who he's friends with. I've been advocating for him since he was a rookie. And it's not because I know his mom. It's not. Objectively, he doesn't get the ball enough. McCaffrey gets the ball too much. Debo gets the ball too much. If they give the ball to Brandon 70 times a season, targets. If they target him 10, 11 times a game in the playoffs, he just might win a Super Bowl. That's the kind of game-changing talent they have. So I don't know what they're trying to do here. You bent over backwards to make everyone else happy in your offense, but this guy might have to play in his 50th version. He's just going to get more expensive. You don't need him to hold out. You need him in the facility. And he's there. He's showing up now. He's really making it clear. I want to be here. Just pay me fairly. Acknowledge how good I am, which the Niners seem to have a tough time doing with Brandon Aiyuk, right? They'll say the right things. Oh, ever since he was in the doghouse, he's really gotten it together. Kyle had high expectations, but he really got it together. Yeah, sure. But when it's a really big game, are you calling passes for him? Are you calling passes for Debo and McCaffrey? They have to show that they actually value him. You say you do, but are you going to lowball him in these negotiations? You're not going to be able to get Kyle Shanahan to go in at the last minute and be like, come on, Brandon, we're friends. Let's work this out. That's what he did with Debo. Brandon's not going to do that. You have to actually say, look, we think you're a number one wide receiver. Here's $28 million a year, and we're going to give you the ball enough to justify this. Are the Niners ready to do that? I don't know.